Hello everybody, this is my trade of the week of this past week. I had a good trading week. So initially on Monday I had some frustration going on. So let's start with the frustration trade. Or it were two losses in a row in the same pair. Let's have a quick look at that. So it's the pound cat. I've detected a busted pattern on the weekly. So that's a consolidation, the breakout and the entry. It has just triggered here an entry breaking the line lower. I didn't want to trade the weekly because the stop would be very wide. So I was looking for an entry on a shorter time frame, and what I saw at that exact point of time and level, I saw a busted pattern on the 15-minute with a tight stop, a really tight pattern with many touches and a tight stop. So I was trading this here right now with a stop here at the blue line. Higher time frames look good. However, all look good. And I was actually trying to get a really low risk trading, a really super low risk trading idea while trading this weekly busted pattern down to with a preliminary target of 160 and then down to 150, which would turn out to be a huge R. I mentioned several times before, trying to swing trade a super small risk idea, like getting it work is very difficult. So I like to give it a second try usually if it doesn't. So here this was my initial entry. I was stopped out. That's a stop run above my first stop. So I was confident to get in again. It has tested here the 21, so it was still a valid trade. I've got I can get in. I can re-enter once. However, I was stopped out again on this entry here with my stop up there. Um, so yeah, very often once there's an entry into a busted pattern, there's some hesitation, like on the bars to follow, and this translated actually in this erratic price movement on the lower time frame. Unfortunately, I was stopped out. It's not always like that. It could have developed, followed through. It did not, so it's kind of ranging here on the 60. Anyway, so I had two losers in a row, although although the potential, there was a huge potential, and I was really keen on getting in on a very tight stop. Anyway, as the as the as time passed by, this actually what I initially thought would happen actually happened. So I was stopped out here the second time, and then a little bit later there was the stop run. So that's the first stop run, going for the first level of stops, and now showing a pullback. So it looks like this busted pattern is on its way to run down to the 150 level. So I had to digest that double loss on the same pair psychologically. Later on the US cat, a really nice pattern occurred on the 15-minute chart. It's a busted pattern short as well. Higher time frames look really good. What attracted me is the 240-minute chart. So we can see this big down move and the consolidation, and I'm expecting actually a same down move, a same bar in size. So my target is the 126, getting a very low risk entry here as well. The only negative was that the news was coming up, US dollar news, a little bit later at 15:30. So I needed to make sure for this trade to be break even just before. And this is how it developed. It didn't develop so well actually. Well, it triggered an entry with some activity, but then there's a pullback. So I thought I might get stopped out soon. I didn't get out. So once you've put a stop, stay there and let it run through whatever happens. So that was actually the high. Then it was running for stops. I was able with this bar just before 15:30. I was able to make it a break-even trade. This tells me I can stay in the trade once news is coming up. So news was just after, I think this green bar was the news bar. So there was some up activity and then a big down move. So news helped me in this case. Well, knowing of this opportunity here, I've by now transformed it into a swing trade, trading my stop relatively conservative. Well, this was Friday. I've taken off a quarter position, so now I'm running half of the original position. As I see, there's still a lot of potential here. I'm holding that trade actually over the weekend, well, the half of initial position, and I still think there's potential further down. We can see it here as well. So I'm expecting the same kind and size of move as we see here down to the 126 level. There's still room on the daily, so that looks like a really nice trade to continue over the next week. So I had a very frustrating experience on Monday with 2 stop outs in a row on a very good opportunity, and fortunately I ended the week with a very nice winner already, with good potential going into next week. I hope that was of interest. Thank you.